all assassins, all the time.
Yes, lots of murder, maybe. Depends.
You guys seem to find ways to murder anyway.
Yes. But my last killing was quite
your excuses were your excuses were also justified in some ways.
I got fooled by those who were friendly to me.
Yes, and Gorko did not seem ready to, accept the love of the little good god in his heart at this time, not ready to change faiths. So, I get that. Okay, let me start again.
Yeah.
Usually I'm quite good at playing across multiple locations.
Yeah.
And I actually don't find it any different from playing in a single location. It may sound strange, but I really don't think it's much different.
Okay.
In this game, it has created wait times that I typically don't observe.
Okay.
And I don't know if that's a systemic thing or if it's just that I'm blocked in some way because it's Dungeons and Dragons of my teen years. So I don't know if I'm just weird about playing it or if there's some aspect of the game that makes multiple locations harder.
Could be.
Yeah, I'm not so sure. So, anyway. Our first step is to acknowledge that our time has got a little bit away from us. It's easy to manage as long as we remember. Hazel's experience is in a couple of nights.
Yeah.
One day of research and another day of application, and she's kind of stuck in there now. Yours is about at the same pace.
Okay.
Actually, probably a little longer because you had to settle in there.
Yeah.
All of you had some time before we properly played, so we could have said the characters began at slightly different points. That's true too. So, but really, you're not really simultaneous with each other at this time. Milo's character, Robert, is probably the one that's the most extended because that's a full military campaign.
And a lot of planning and all that.
We don't even know if he started fighting by the time you guys are in the middle of your stuff. So ultimately, we will have to sort of catch up, fill in the gaps, and artificially establish simultaneity a little later, if we do. But it's something to keep track of. Then your experiences were even shorter because your experiences were actually quite stuck in that one. You had a walk with your priest or whatever he is, and then you went into this building with Hork. So that really wasn't. It may have seemed like an eternity, but it really wasn't more than half an hour or an hour at the most.
It's really short. Days, left like a very short time. Time has to for a meal.
Right.
Entire days. It's a big difference. You can have a lot of time to make up for it.
It's really okay because ultimately it doesn't matter as long as we don't play in such a way that somebody is in two places at once.
I'll go to her tower.
That's right. It's like, wait, how long were you in that tower? Right? So you are not going to be showing up, at that
doorstep.
But we can also be a little bit clear that as long as we don't have to specify, just because we play them at the same time doesn't necessarily mean they were totally simultaneous. So there's a little bit of adjustment if we need it, but just letting you know that the characters definitely are proceeding differently in a fictional time right now. So that established, let's look at this narrative. Okay, you'll notice the nice round church based on an irrational number, which is the Chaos Church, and then we have this square, solid, church, right? Stable church, and the round things in it are under control.
Boring. With fixed pie.
Yeah, exactly. And so the law church, of course, is here. So this over here is Xynos, and over here is Chargos. As I mentioned before, this is not really a seaside or anything. It's just a waterway through the city.
Okay.
So there's more city over there.
Yeah.
Boats do trade on things, but it's not,
Yeah.
There's not an ocean. Okay, now, as you can see, however, they are considered a shared district, partly because of this waterway. Clearly, there is, some kind of functioning unity here. Hey, come on in. I forgot my notes. The ones you asked me about.
Yeah.
So I had to go back and get them.
Oh dear.
Yeah, so we were just starting now.
But you didn't bring my dice.
No, I did not bring your dice.
Well?
That was not discussed, to my knowledge, actually.
No, I'm joking.
They have their own dice. Now, let's see. So, but let's be clear here, because you had a disturbing conversation with this Luramax fellow, who seems, if we were to be stereotypical and in a slightly different setting, he would be a mob boss.
Yeah.
Oddly. He handles, distribution of beverages. So, therefore, whatever you want to say or do about that, you were a little bit on your own, but as I recall, you were a little concerned that Osborne was going off and doing anything on his own and did not come back.
Yeah.
So that would leave us. That would leave us in the interesting question of, let's go ahead and say, as night is falling, because remember, you had to go back, take a bath, look sadly at your old robe that you now have to wear. Come on, that thing is a lightning bolt and a fireball. I really don't think there's much left.
No.
So therefore, it's a question. You don't know the district very well. Clearly, waterways are part of this whole city. Look at this. Look at the waterways surrounding this thing, and look at the sector of the city. I mean, look at this waterway here. I mean, this is over here. This is obviously higher ground. There is what appears to be an underground waterway or under pavement waterway that comes out here. So maybe this is higher ground in general. I don't know. But the layout of both of these areas are not that well known to you. If you were dropped right here, you might be turned around. So therefore, what are you going to do in terms of proceeding? He was, remember, he was off to go speak with the apparent political leader or personage, some important person over in Chargos, whose name I actually provided. Yes, I did, because I am a prepared game master who is not making up everything. So, let's see here. I love chaos names. XYRQUIS. QUIS. I have the faintest. I have no idea.
Circus?
Yeah.
Circus.
Yeah,
Circus.
Close enough. Now, so that's all you really know.
Yeah.
What's your plan of attack here?
My plan of attack
Entering into a city dominated by the chaos, or region of the city dominated by the chaos church at night.
That's my plan, really.
Okay.
Yeah. I need to find Osborne. I have plans.
Pass me the monster man.
Oh, of course. Whatever could happen. But I don't know. Could you tell the difference between chaos citizen and order citizen?
No,
I
I think that this is okay. There are several things at work here. One is that alignment is very dubiously defined in D&D. It's very difficult to understand. I mean, if it's an attitude, then why is there a language? What?
Yeah.
So we are just embracing the madness.
Yeah, and then
And so but the idea is for most people, it's not an evident thing. And the way I see it for our game, if it is evident, it's because they have adopted some outward sign. They have created, they wear something.
Yeah, I won't be wearing my priest robes.
There we go then. Okay, yes. Well, there's also the interesting point that assassins, as you know, can speak other alignment languages, which nobody else can do. And I have decided that that is meaningless if anybody knows you can do it.
Okay.
So therefore, it must not be known, because it would make no sense if a guy shows up and says, "Hi, I'm lawful good," and they're like, "Well, how do we know you're not an assassin?" Well, what's the point of learning an alignment language if it isn't, a very, very, very effective disguise?
Yeah.
So anyway, that is my thinking, is that neither being an assassin nor being of a particular alignment is immediately evident. I mean, they have spells for this. If you have spells, then clearly it can't be done without them. So so the good news for you is that you can look like a guy.
Yeah.
So that's part one.
Yep.
More?
I don't think I have time to replay and choose different spells. So I'm just going.
If I'm not mistaken, you actually had an hour. Although I think it is once a day.
Yeah.
So that is, let's see. Oh, no, look at this. Oh my God. Okay. As a rule of thumb, allow 15 minutes of game time for memorization of one spell level.
Okay. Yep.
That's not bad.
No, that's...
Such activity requires a mind rested by a good sleep and nourished by the body. That's all it says. It's not sunrise to sunset.
No.
So if you had taken, you did say that you took a power nap before you met with Lormax. You said you went and washed up. And,
but then I changed the spells.
Oh, right. No, you're stuck with those.
Yeah,
I think that's it.
Fine,
unless you want to delay for 3 hours.
No, that sounds dumb in this case.
Okay. So that's one thing. I am listening as I scan. So tell me more.
Yeah, but then I'll just start going into the chaos neighborhood and I don't know. I think I have some as an assassin. I have a spying skill. Maybe I can find out if somebody has seen a really good local priest stumbling about. People should have noticed this radiant beacon of law and goodness.
Constantly speaking with order and
it
should be this way.
And the holy staff. And
that doesn't fit here.
Did a glowing guy come in here bossing everyone around?
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, that one would notice it. Definitely.
Starting every sentence with repent.
Yeah. What was your mother think?
Guilty the entire neighborhood.
Or for people who spy.
I think we are going to deal a little bit with fellows like that. How on earth are they supposed to get that? Okay. Continue. I am thinking, and so just grabbing a few things I'll need.
Yep, but
and this.
I'm gonna start by getting a whole of the neighborhood, like seeing what's around, if any taverns or inns or anything, or
You have a choice of going in here, here, or here.
I'm taking the back streets.
Okay.
Yep.
And you do know that most of the sort of more fellowship, anonymous people kind of places are down here by the wharf. And that's not too surprising.
No.
But that doesn't mean there aren't places over here in the more residential areas.
Yeah.
So
I'm trying to get a feel for the neighborhood, I guess.
mhm.
Start to see if there's any bad neighborhoods in the neighborhoods of that.
Right. Well,
I should stay away in the future.
Mhm.
So, and then I'll casually try and find out if anyone's seen Osmore.
Okay, so as I see it, you will have to join some sort of social activity.
Yeah.
And do you want some more private, indoors, kind of less obvious social activity? Or do you want some sort of outdoors, people hanging around, being visible?
I think outdoors and maybe some light radicalizing.
Sure. Okay. Well, for a place like that, well, I think probably that would mean in here, that circular area. Yeah.
Square, I guess.
And so there is where you will find what appears to be very orderly, of all things. Yes. Well, you just saw a whole bunch of revelry and bad behavior over there. Here, oddly enough, you find citizens who seem rather sober and rather busy about their business. But that doesn't stop there from being, I know, a public debate among philosophers. And so people have set up lanterns, and it is apparently a kind of special event. So a number of people have put on their churchy hat. And we have there and two fellows who look like they've spent a lot of their time doing a lot of thinking are taking up their seats in sort of special chairs that have been set up. And for all the world, it's like a modern talk show where we're going to have, the you say and then you say, and there's there seems to be some interest.
Is there any strange alcohol involved?
No,
Yes.
No, there seem to be no pyrotechnics or anything like that. And the people now it is suitable for your purposes because there's a lot of conversation.
Yeah. And
it's one of these events where a person might talk to the person next to them in the crowd without much without much interference. So let's see here. You will swiftly learn that some people had come across the bridge to come home. They had seen a person such as you described. Embarking upon this bridge, but he did not. But there was, now that they think about it, they were sort of surprised that that when they finished crossing the bridge, because the guy was kind of distinctive. He matched your description. That he did not actually come across.
Yeah, that calls for close investigation. Any special buildings around this bridge?
Not really. There is. I think it's fair to say that this one building here is some kind of official
Like
outpost. Right,
Yeah.
something that would keep track of things. But it must be admitted that administration of such things has fallen off.
Yeah.
Since, and is now somebody gets to sit there.
Okay.
And that person, should you find them, closed up for the day,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you don't find them unless you
No,
really
no.
want to. That person
No.
closed up for the day, and
It's fine.
and also it's, although the other side, let's see here.
There should be more.
Yeah, that side definitely has, this building is much more of a guard post
Yeah.
and
Maybe,
has a staff.
yeah, maybe needs that special pass to get
Mhm.
to that side.
After certain hours,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.